Okay, hello friends, this is Yusuf here. Welcome to part 3 of our CSS tutorial. Okay, so in this video, we're going to learn about border, margin, padding, and also box model in CSS. Okay, so let's get started. So here I have opened a new HTML called 03 box model and opened it in browser. So here I have two div tags, okay, and each with class of one box1 and box2, and here is the class. So first of all, if you open the Chrome Dev Tools, okay, go to the elements and look for this box1 and box2, okay. So basically, let's try to do some background, okay. So background color, maybe light blue, and font size 20 pixel, okay. So here also I'm gonna have background color of maybe gray, font size of 20 pixels. So this will help us to visualize the elements. Okay, so now you can see based on the background color we can identify the elements. Okay, immediately you will start noticing there is actually a space around the elements. Okay, so which is nothing but if you go to the body tag, you will see a margin of 8 pixel. Okay, so that is the spacing around the element. Okay, so by default HTML tags will have its own default styling. So normally we will avoid those things, okay, because whatever the style we want to give by our own, so that our website will come based on what we want. So for that we'll do a universal selector and say that margin equal to 0 pixel and the padding equal to 0 pixel. So if you add this statement, then if you refresh, so all the default stylings will go. Okay, so whatever the padding and whatever the size we're going to apply, then that will be used for the document. Okay, fine. So let's get started. So okay, so before we proceed further, let's understand the terms. So we have the content. Okay, if you go to this div tag and go to this computer tab, you will see this box. Okay, this is basically a box model of CSS. So a box model is nothing but all the elements what we define in HTML will be considered as a box. It can be a square or rectangle, that doesn't matter, but it is considered as a box. So each box will have a content. So as you can see, the content is the content itself. Okay, it's a text or image or whatever, it's the content. And each box will have a border. Okay, so border you know already. So it is actually a border around the content, and a space between border and the content is called padding. Okay, and then space between two elements called margin. So let's try to understand by applying all these things. Okay, first of all, let's go to padding. So I'm gonna apply some padding. So padding of 20 pixel. Okay, so as soon as I apply the padding, save and refresh, you see the box one kind of pushed. Okay, and here you see the padding applied already. So again, this is the content, the text itself, and this is the padding. So as I said, padding is a space between border and content, which means if I apply border and content, if I apply a margin, okay, let's apply a margin of 20 pixel. So now if you see what's happening before margin, okay, let's finish the border. Okay, let's go step by step. Okay, go to border. I'm going to apply border of 10 pixel of solid and then black color. Okay, so this is actually the size of the border, and this is actually what kind of border type. Okay, it's like we have solid, dotted, and other options. Okay, this is actually the color. If you save, refresh, now you understand there is a border coming around the element. Okay, now as you can see here, the element is here, a padding is here, and then the border is here. Okay, if you go to margin, so margin is a space between elements. Okay, so which means box 1 and box 2 is now next to each other. So when I apply a margin property here, okay, of maybe 20 pixel again, as you can see the 20 pixel coming around the box. Okay, so that is the margin, so that the next element is pushed another 20 pixel down. Okay, so that's basically the definition of margin, and we just see how it works. Okay, now let's see one important thing about margin. Okay, assume I'm going to have the same padding and border for the box 2. Okay, and this time save, refresh. So again I got the padding, so that the content is pushed, and then I got a border. Now I'm going to apply a margin of 30 pixel. Okay, just think what it might do. Margin. Okay, so as we know, margin is a space between elements. So the 20 here pushed this element down. So this 30 here, we might think this box will further come down for another 30. Okay, but if you refresh, only it come 10 pixel. Okay, so to understand clear, if you go to the box2 div tag, okay, and as you can see, this is the content, this is the padding 20 we gave, this is the border 10 we gave, and then we give a margin of 30. So the 30 is available, but as you can see, the 30 is actually the space between box 1 and box 2. Okay, at the same time, if you go to box 1, we have a margin of 20, which means if you go to the margin 20, that is, we are able to see it in the browser here. So which means a margin of two elements will overlap each other. Okay, or in other words, if there are two margin given to two elements, then the highest margin will be taken and that will be applied as a space between those two elements. Okay, so that is the important point here. Okay, so we just understood what is padding and what is border and what is margin. Okay, now let's learn an important concept of border box. Okay, which means, okay, so now we don't specify any width and height. Okay, so which means the element is taking the contents width. Okay, now I'm going to create a box itself, which means I'm going to apply a height of 100 pixel and then a width of 100 pixel, and once I do that, it will turn into a box, which means since we provide the height and width, the div tag will be using this height and width. Okay, now the important thing is, if I hover over this div, you can see here div.box1. Okay, here you can see div.box1 is 160 cross 160. Okay, why is that? Okay, we are expecting the height and width to be 100 cross 100, but it turns out to be a 160 cross 160. Okay, so to understand further, if you go to the diagram here, the width, I mean the content itself is 100 cross 100. Okay, so whatever the height and width we specify, that is taken into consideration for the content of the element. Okay, then what are the padding we give, that is added around the content, and the border is around the padding. Okay, and then all together it is calculating. Okay, except margin. Okay, margin you can leave it. So which means apart from this apart from this 100, we have a 20 padding and 10 border, which is a 30, and 30 above and 30 below, so that is 60. Okay, so that is the 160 cross 160. Okay, now you can see 160 cross 160. But if your requirement is to have only a 100 cross 100 box, and your content should be inside along with the padding and border, say for example, okay, then what we have to do? So here we need to calculate our height and width. How? So we are giving border of 10. Okay, see here, so 10 plus 20, 30 goes away, and here 30 goes away, which means from 100, if you minus 60, we only have 40. Okay, so then our height and width we should give 40. This is for the content. Okay, save. Then if you refresh, then you get a box of size 100 cross 100, and your height and width is set to 40, so that everything is within the 100 cross 100. Okay, so if you see here, we get 100 cross 100. Okay, so but there is a problem here. Okay, which means if suddenly if I change my padding to say for example 10 pixel, okay, then if I save and refresh, if you check the size, it becomes 80 cross 80. Okay, so if at all you are changing a padding or border, then you need to recalculate the height and width so that your element always gets into 100 cross 100. Okay, but it's very painful task. So what is the correct approach to do this? Okay, so that is called box sizing. Okay, so to demonstrate that, let's go back to 100 cross 100. Okay, and then refresh. So here you can see it is having 140 cross 140. Why? Because we have 10 border padding, 10 here, so it's like for 10 20 30 40, then it's 140. Okay, but now I'm just going to add one property called box sizing. The value is border box. Okay, once I do that and refresh, suddenly the element becomes 100 cross 100. Okay, why? Because this property controls the height and width, so that including the border and padding, the element is the height and width is specified. Okay, so that is the key here. Due to this property, it makes sure that height and width is always 100 cross 100, including the margin and padding, and it adjusts the content height and width accordingly. So if you go here, see, automatically the content becomes 60 cross 60. Okay, so if at all I reduce the border to another 5, okay, see what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to change this to 5 pixel. Okay, then refresh. So the size of the border is reduced, but the content got increased automatically, so the adjustment is happening. Okay, so that is the beauty of box sizing border box. Okay, so well, which means if I add this two statement here, save, refresh, then again we have the same problem of size is becoming more than 100. Then we need to add this box sizing below, but instead of adding it for each element, it is actually a good practice to add it in the universal selector. Okay, so which means all the element in your document will be using this box sizing, so that we don't need to worry about the content height and width. So we can always specify the height and width for which for the element what it is needed, and then it will handle the content width accordingly. Okay, so which means if I refresh again, box 2 is also now 100%. Okay, so that is actually the end of this video. So I hope it could be a lengthy video, but I wanted you to understand basically the difference between padding, border and margin. Okay, and then this margin will be overlapping between the elements, and you can use a box sizing property so that you can concentrate only on height and width and not worrying too much about the content width and height. Okay, all right, so that's the end of this video, and I hope it's useful for you. And then the next video we're gonna solve a lot of exercise problem based on what we have learned, and then we'll learn about CSS positioning, and then we'll move forward. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please share with your friends, and always I'll see you in the next video. Bye.